they're seeing there's a lot of mobility on the board, looking at the Kaisa, looking at the Ari as well. So they most likely decided to opt for, just as you mentioned, that lockdown as well. I mean, it works similarly. You hold someone down, the bombs will just sort of funnel in. It synergizes well with the Rakan as well, with your knock-up. So it is going to be a layering of CC. Excited to see how this will go, because looking at Flash Wolves' mid and jungle, it's looking pretty solid with the Ari and the Lee Sin. I'm looking to see early game kills for sure, but we'll have to see how this pans out.
The Silent Battery is also an indicator for who Noel should hit with the Demacian Justice, as we see this early push coming 4 members from Buriram United Esports. So what they want to do is get early mid prio here as much as possible so that they can control the jungle state, control the lane assignments. But you can see the cheese being set up by Flash Wolves. Okay.
Yeah, Flash Wolves at the moment will, just as you mentioned, will now go for a little bit of this standard, I suppose, but there's the knock-up as well, double knock-up for the 80 carries, but Demon's still low right now. And remember, what the Jess carrying Ignite.
It's so aggressive, they know they can go for these all-ins, and that's the kind of killer instinct that what the Jess adds to this team, which I think is an upgrade overall. No hate on, the jungler that he replaced, but what the Jess is a confident player in his own right, and doing this is just an indication. Right now, you can see that Shiba is actually walking to take the enemy blue buff away. And the reason they can do this is because they got early lane prio by grouping up 4 members or 3 members in mid lane and just shoving up.
Buriram with a good start so far, just as you mentioned, having another buff on their hands. And now if Buriram continues to do this, it might be a little bit tricky for Cookie to go over the blue buff of Buriram. But now they might look into a potential gank because, it is already level 3 for Cookie and no vision whatsoever for Buriram.
He needs to pick up the Scuttle Crab first and then set up this gank. But right now the wave is, kind of pushing towards Buriram. So I don't think they can make this gank happen unless they opt to go for a dive. Cookie here is going to navigate himself over to the enemy blue buff. So again, vertical jungling is the name of the game. The difference here is that Shiba took away the Gromp, whereas Cookie might not even get the blue.
Oh, there's the knock-up on towards Cookie, but he's able to safeguard away for sure. The rest of Flash Wolves' dual lanes are nearby, so Buriram decided not to commit.
What they should have done there earlier in the game for Flash Wolves is put a ward down. Hold on, Solokill might come in.
Sarah? He still has Flash. He still has Flash, so gotta be careful of any of the Flash body slam coming in. So that's the reason why Noel's just running so far away now.
I love that he's just proxying the wave, denying as much EXP, because by holding the wave there, you can see in the Baron lane, the second one is going to crash, and this means that Noel is going to miss about 1.5 wave of EXP and farm.
That's true. Further, furthering his level, I suppose, as Sarah already has the explosive cask for himself. But the reset will happen for Sarah, so a little bit of breathing space for Noel at least. Just a slight good news, I suppose. But right now, sorta Bruce is able to take hold of the mid lane, so this is a huge plus for Flash Wolves.
He's just farming better. On this Ari, he's just hitting his CS more, to be honest. Bruce is very okay laning to the Ziggs because there is no kill threat from Ziggs, whereas he does have an opportunity to all-in if he hits the charm. So, of course, he's going to be farming better. He can space away from Arshani and force the Ziggs to play defensively.
Yeah, that's a little bit difficult considering the fact that even though Shiba is going to be on this Vi, he's going to be very slippery with a Spirit Rush and as well as the Flash on the board. But 28 seconds on the clock already for the Ocean Drake, and I think this is where the paths not converge, but this is where the paths fork. What do teams do? Do they want to exchange a few objectives off of the map, the opposite part of the map, or do they want to contest this one this time around?
That is a good question, Riku, and what Flash Wolves are doing now is setting up vision because they know that Buriram United is probably going to contest this. They need some deep wards to avoid getting jumped by what the Jess as well as Shiba. So if you know where the Rakan is coming from, you could probably pressure him out, not allow him to jump on you. But speaking of which,
Eason, a little bit tanky to sort of punish him being a little bit aggressive, but now BRU is going to try to sweep some of these wards off to deny information from Flash Wolves. Now Demon might be in a little bit of trouble here, as I can see, they're jumping on him as he's isolated. He's able to use the Killer Instinct to reposition at least, but here comes the rest of Flash Wolves. What the, whoa! That's a double man body slam. Kinemon will fall and he's going to be the sacrifice for first blood. And now Buriram, unfortunately, Jess wants to run away now.
Good
Oh
charm
wait,
in.
it's not yet over. There's the charm. There's the electrocute proc, and Shiva solo right now. At the moment, Noelle is just going to be that meat shield for the rest of the squad. The same goes for Isera for that knockup, but Flash Wolf's pretty low, but they're able to get one kill off of that engage.
To get the first blood, it goes towards Eason. Not ideal, but at least you converge some of the pressure. And Ysera with the insane play there to flash body slam into two members. We talked about this. Kinemon has this penchant for getting caught out. Right there, we see it happen. He gets picked off by that body slam into a kill. Dragon is still up. We could expect Flash Wolves again to set up for this because you can see that Cookie and Ysera, both their ultimates are coming up soon. Once they get vision, once they have control of the river, they could look for another fight.
They have to, Buriram definitely has to watch out for Isera's killer body slams, but good news, no flash anymore as it has been used. So that threat, and as well as the punish potential for Isera if he gets in too deep, will be available for them at least. At the moment for Kinemon, his Feather Storm is going to be up soon, but he's definitely going to need that for that extra safety.
Earlier, we saw that Cookie went for the early Yomu's Ghostblade. That's not ideal. Oh, man, double ward. Okay, that actually, kind of hurts them a little bit because now they don't have vision on the other side of the wall, just behind blue buff, so they won't see a flank coming if, What the Just decides to take that path.
Yeah, it might be a little bit too dangerous for Demon, I suppose, as he's positioned over here in the not warded area, basically. But here comes a fight once more. There's the quickening, or the... Wait, what did I say? Quickening? And at the killer instinct used by Demon at the moment is Noelle still alive, using himself as that tanky front line. But Isera and Cookie now gone. Now Buriram wants to reset instead, as it may not be safe to take the dragon.
Flash Wolves took the wrong play there. They knew that what the Jets was sitting inside that bush. They decided to walk past, and the full chain of CC coming through is just more than enough for Buriram to punish anyone walking through that choke. Unfortunate, but again, this is going to be Ocean Dragon once more up for contest. But since Rift Herald has spawned, both teams can make the decision. Are we going to trade off the Rift Herald for the Dragon, or are we going to fight for this again? It seems like Buriram United Esports with Kinemon in the Dragon lane will not be able to contest this Rift Herald.
That this is going to be a 4v5 situation, and your 4-man, you definitely need that consistent DPS coming from Kinemon. So, just as you mentioned, Buriram will let this go. Instead, we'll get First Blood Tower and as well as their first dragon.
Not the most equal trades. If this was an Inferno Dragon, I say all the way, take the Inferno Dragon, give them the Rift Herald, but Ocean Drake is not specifically ideal for their composition. They want to be looking to burst someone with the instant damage coming in, not take these extended fights. So all things considered, I think Flash Wolves, now that they get the Baron Tier 1 as well, are in a solid position.
Yeah, opening the map a little bit more, at least for Buriram. It's a consolation prize. They'll take what they can with the dragon, and as well as opening up the bottom portion of the map. And so far, so good, at least for Buriram as well, because we're not seeing the big balloon up of one dragon fight. It is an ace, and then leading towards a balloon of gold. It is different. It's just a 1k gold lead.
Very tempered aggression from both sides. Looking at the item builds right now, you can see that Demon's already got the evolved Q. So despite being, equal-ish in gold to Kinemon, he's actually a lot stronger. So they need to respect the Kai'Sa now. Buriram Esports, United Esports, they can't just walk up and take these fights because Demon has the potential to really sweep them up.
There has been no threat whatsoever so far. I don't think I've seen Demon. Here's the lockdown on Noelle, though, but I don't think anything will happen too much as he's very tanky. But now he's half HP on towards this potential counter siege. What the Jazz will greet Cookie, but he's just going to fly away towards Kinemon over there. But nothing will happen as Buriram will just destroy this Rift Herald.
Rift Herald forced in mid, makes Buriram United Esports rotate down to defend it. And of course, Bruce is here. He's going to get engaged upon, but still has the Spirit Rush to get out.
Yeah, there's the quickness. Bruce is so low at the moment with the Spirit Rush, just as you mentioned, just for that out. Cookie will just use the Dragon's Rage for additional safety.
So they trade that potential mid-tier 1 for bot tier 1, or dragon tier 1 rather, with the use of the Rift Herald. Again, very good macro play coming in from Flash Wolves. They force Buriram United Esports into these lose-lose situations, and that to me is the epitome of understanding how to play the map, right? Your opponents have to respond, but when they do, they lose something else. So Flash Wolves playing a very measured game. They're not really, showing that kind of aggression that we saw other teams pull out so far in the Summer Super Cup.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, even though it's not like super obvious, 1K gold lead, but the calls and the movements around the map by Flash Wolves is a very, very clear win so far in the first 10 minutes of the game. Now, Buriram looking to set up a death brush, perhaps. Maybe finding someone from Flash Wolves, a little bit isolated, maybe walking towards the dangerous path of that river, but didn't catch anyone.
Both teams like just defaulting to an ARAM, which I hate to see, like especially in Wildrift when you can get the teleport enchant. This is not the play. Like sitting in mid and just trying to siege against, you know, Ziggs or RE wave clear is not the play, right? I would prefer if teams go for the TP enchant, especially now because Noah hasn't bought anything just yet. He could pick that up and play the side lane, you know, force the map open a little bit more, force Flash Wolves to respond to the side lane pressure.
Yeah, but Buriram wanting to do their best defending this mid lane as it is definitely close to falling. Especially, you know, one fight loss will just open the map even more in favor of Flash Wolves. So I guess for Buriram, that is the reason why they're very careful. They want to keep slowing this pace off away from Flash Wolves.
We're approaching the 11-minute mark. Gold is still slightly in favor of Flash Wolves. I say slightly, it's about 2k. All in all, about 5% lead for the Taiwanese seed. So 20 seconds on this Inferno. Both teams will want this, Riku. They will fight and die for it because of the buff it provides. It's so valuable for both teams, just the additional damage. It's 8% if I remember correctly. The numbers are there. Oh, hold on. Good kick in.
What the kick, Cookie into the charm? Are you insane? As they catch out Shiba in his own jungle, but no jungler now for this Infernal Drake.
That setup is just perfect. This is a free Inferno Dragon, and like I said, the Lee Sin players at this tournament are cracked. I'm not sure why they're not picking the jungler Lee Sin up, because it allows you to set up plays like these. It feels so good when you find the windows to just kick someone in, be it Shiba or Arshini. Both of them are great targets. Just kick them in, start the fight.
Yeah, that alley-oop, but there's the knock-up on towards Sarah there, but he has the body slam for that additional safety. No, look at the trigger discipline, I suppose, from Sarah. No flash or barrier being used, and that's going to be still available on the next fight.
We talked about the two versions of Gragas in our meetings earlier in the week. You have the tank Gragas, you have the AP Gragas. This Grasp of the Undying tank Gragas is actually pretty insane, just because of the damage reduction coming in from his W, or his second skill if you want to put it that way. Allows him to just sit in the front line. He is a true tank at this point. Coupled together with Eason on that Alistar, it's tough to break past the anchors or the front line of Flash Wolves.
That's true. That's, you know, being the double tank and double engagers for Flash Wolves just to sort of enable, you know, Bruce and Demon to do what they need to do. Now, Buriram, though, does want to try and get the siege on, as Demon is so low. Is able to get the heals as well on the board, but Buriram will not be able to translate anything as topside is pushing.
I'm curious to see the itemization from Arshini here. I feel like it's going to be Ludens and Deathcap, which is why his bouncing bombs are hurting so much. And again, in these chokes along the Baron Pit, Arshini feels that much scarier whenever he's tossing Hextech Mind Fuse or bouncing bombs. It's tough to take that objective.
That is the reason why, you know, 100% why Flash Wolves is going to be a little bit more reserved and, you know, trying to take out the Baron.
They need to set up the pick first with Cookie on that, you know, Dragon's Rage, try to insect someone in. There you go. Luden's Echo and Ribbon on Deathcap completed, so he hurts a lot. Moving towards the Morellos as well, just to cut the healing. I think that's a great buy. Even without the passive, it's still pretty efficient. And when you do add the passive in, it just feels that much better. Engage into the mid lane.
Oh, double knock-up. There's the quickness coming in. They're going to be backing off a little bit, but now the tower is down. But now Demon is going to be the focus, and that's no AD carry for Flash Wolves. And now they want to just run away, but Buriram in the 5v4 situation.
They're looking to siege down this mid-tier 1. It'll go down very quickly with Ziggs here. I don't think Flash Wolves can defend.
Whoa, that's a double man knockoff coming from Isara, but that's a dive coming in from the Jess. Now the tower still stands, but Cookie and Demon is now long gone. That's gonna be a 3v5 situation. Still no deaths for Buriram United.
Now they can transition over to controlling the other portions of the map. Mid-tier 1's down, guess what? There is still a Baron tier 1, and someone will have to go and siege that up. Once you open up the map even more, it feels tougher for Flash Wolves to regain control, especially when you're checking into what the Jesses engage, as well as the bombs coming in from Arshini. So far the composition for Buriram, as long as they continue scaling up. Kinemon is going to feel good too. He doesn't necessarily need the peel from what the Jess. It frees up the Rakan to just force these fights.
Exactly, it is one of the other options for heavy engage from Buriram for sure. It has worked wonders from what we've seen earlier as Demon was instantly bursted
Mhm.
down by, again, you mentioned Arshani on his arsenal, basically, with a lot of damage on the board for himself. Now, Flash Wolves gotta sweat a little bit now that, they haven't been able to take things just what they've done in, the previous 10 minutes.
Mhm. Holding on to the control here, looking to put down vision first. You can see that Shiba is actually very far from his team. He needs to join in right now.
Oh, Noel, though, is going to get sandwiched by both of the rest of Flash Wolves, but he is pretty tanky. He's just going to spin and run away.
Yeah, but still, what the Jets used the quickness there, whereas Flash Wolves, they still have all the ultimates, have most of the summer spells, if not everything here. So that's just a free pick, it removes the engage potential for Buriram for another, 30, 45 seconds, leaving them to just check the vision out, let the side of Flash Wolves set up.
That's true, they'll heavily rely on Shiva for the Assault and Battery, but what is your AoE engage? There's the flash knock-up headbutt and everything else, as, we get to see the Ari Bruce coming from the side, but there's no charm hitting, so the engage will not pass through, but look at that, Shiva, already 1/4 HP, but looks like Flash Wolves is just gonna settle for this dragon.
You can see what Flash Wolves are trying to do there. They're like baiting the Baron. Hey guys, you want to check this? We could take this very quickly because we have Kaisa, and Buriram called them on their bluff. They step up and then Flash Wolves kind of have to force the engage. At least they get the Cloud Dragon. It wasn't a full waste of ultimates in the mid lane when they chased down. In addition to that, also, Demon is slowly picking up the farm right now. You can see he's moving towards the last whisper build-up, looking very strong in that regard. Max build for Demon is going to come online soon, and he's going to be the damage source for Flash Wolves in these later fights.
Definitely going to be a little bit tricky, considering the fact that, Noel and what the Jess may be shredded very, very fast in these fights once you mention that Demon is able to get max item build. Buriram, though, doing their best to sort of regain control over this top side near the Baron. I think they're doing a good job sort of slowing the pace down, but doesn't change the fact that Flash Wolves has 2 dragons and a 3k gold lead.
The next dragon is going to be Elder Mountain, and it actually benefits Buriram a lot more than it does Flash Wolves, just purely on the virtue of having a Garen on the lineup. Like, look at his items. It's just flat stats, right? And yes, Ysera is also building flat stats, but his job is try to disrupt the front line, whereas Noel would love to go back in and out of fights, taking his time with this one.
So far, so good for Flash Wolves. They're now starting this one just to try to see and bait it out. Eason will be the one trying to zone them in while they have to wear their dancing shoes with the zigs, pokes, and the bombs. Ysera's so low right now, but Eason's gonna start the fight. There's the charm. There's the Assault and Battery towards as Shiba is gonna run for the hills. He's pretty much very low at the moment. That's gonna be a double kill already from Demon, and 3 members down, some more as the rest of Flash Wolves wants to restart the fight. Demon, Eason, and everybody else are pretty much low, but it doesn't matter as that's gonna be an ace on the side of Flash Wolves as they're marching down the mid lane.
You saw the window there for Demon. Once all the spells were out, once the Assault and Battery was committed, he knew he could fly in with the Killer Instinct to clean up the fight, and this should be game here coming in for Flash Wolves. The Oppo team ace for this insane lineup. Honestly, they pulled the trigger to end the game so quickly, I'm at a loss for words. I thought they were going to drag this one out, but Flash Wolves, they see the window and they punish.
And in an instant, they were able to win that one fight, force Buriram United into a complete on full 100% commit, and cleaned up the ace. Doesn't even need the Baron, just use the Baron for bait.